even sell packing and moving supplies. No matter what you need, we'll do it with a smile. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. So when you're planning your next move, call Two Men and a Truck. Two Men and a Truck, the movers who care. Real talk, people. Not all banks are the same. Switch to RBC and get $300. Then you can save 3 cents a liter every time at Petro Canada and automatically save money with no refinancing. Experience the RBC difference, friends.
Switch to an RBC all-inclusive account and get $300. Conditions apply.
It's time for the 680 News Vacation Travelers Forecast brought to you by redtag.ca. Looking for the perfect beach vacation? Visit redtag.ca for amazing deals with up to 50% off on Cuba, Mexico, and the Caribbean. Plan your perfect winter trip today at redtag.ca. Cancun today, partly cloudy, 26 degrees. The high. Honolulu, partly cloudy and 25. Miami, mostly cloudy and 22. Right now, minus 15, mainly clear in downtown Toronto with a wind chill of minus 27. The city news time, 7:30. Number 1 for Commute in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Paul Coach and Catherine Desay. Good morning. This is Wednesday, the 30th of January. For Catherine Desay, I'm Charlene Close.
Here's what's making news right now. From deep snow to deep freeze, the wonderful winter weather week continues. All-day kindergarten in Ontario could be on the chopping block.
What's working and what's not.
The future of the program will be part of the Ford government's consultation on education.
How was Bruce McConker able to go undetected for so many years? Experts now weighing in on the man hiding in plain sight. At 67, the oldest confirmed serial killer in Canadian history. Before you head underground, Line 1, the Yonge University subway line has delays northbound from Union to Eglinton.
The Jets jumped the Bruins in a shootout, and the Milwaukee Bucks are now a half game better than the Raptors. Sports at 45. Owing might see a lift on the market today with the Dow futures up 130 and Boeing's earnings better than forecast. Apple's results above estimates, and that stock's up 5.5%. Business at 56. The City News Time, 7:31.
Time for 680 News traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by Queen Smith MBA in Toronto. Here's Stephanie Henry. Our problems are now cleared up on the westbound 401 approaching Victoria Park in the Express. There's a difficult vehicle on the right lane. It's gone now, but we do still have this delay. Westbound 401 jammed up from west to Morningside to west of Yonge, alternately Express and Collectors. It looks like the Express still moving slower than the Collectors, so keep that in mind. Also looking at delays before you even get to that point on the westbound 401 from the 412 over to about Brock Road. On the westbound 401 is busy 400 Collectors to west of Islington. Approaching your Ontario and the Collectors, looks like our problems are cleared, but still slow from the 410 and the Collectors. And also hearing that it's very icy in this area, so do slow down, take your time, and drive accordingly. That goes for really any of our major routes and our side streets as well. Heading to the southbound 410, that's heavy from Mayfield to south of Queens. Southbound 427, heavy Highway 7 to about Derry. Eastbound 401, that's slow Highway 25 to Trafalgar, approaching Mississauga Road to approaching here Ontario. And we have delays on the eastbound 401 from the 427 to the 400 in the Express and the Collectors, moving slower in the Collectors though. Taking a look at the southbound 404 DVP combo, that's heavy from Davis to south of Mulock, south of Elgin Mills to 16, and the southbound 404 DVP is heavy from south of Finch to south of Lawrence. Heading over to the eastbound QEW, you also find slowdowns just east of Walker's Line, east of 3rd Line as well, and the eastbound QEW is heavy east of Conference to Dixie, eastbound Gardner, that's slow from Islington and the Express to about east of Jameson. Earn your MBA from Queen Smith School of Business right here in Toronto. Find out more at smithmbaintoronto.com. Your next report at 7:41, and now set on the forecast. Here's Joe Taylor. So the extreme cold warning continues. Wind chill in the minus 30s right through to early Friday morning. Guaranteed high today, minus 15. Already reached. We'll sit at about minus 17 for the rest of the day. Sun and clouds, chance of flurries. No squalls for areas near Lake Huron and Georgian Bay, and also picking up in the Niagara region today. Some scattered flurries tomorrow, and the high again about minus 15. Right now it feels like minus 30. It's clear. Minus 19 appears to minus 16 at 680 News. We've already reached the guaranteed high, minus 15.
680 News Time, 7:33.
Well, let's hope you didn't leave your snow shoveling until today. This is the kind of day you will want to be spending as little time as possible outside.
Unless you are, of course, 680's Carl Hansky, who joins us live from downtown on what is one of the coldest days of the winter so far. Carl. As I'm standing out here with a metal microphone in my hand, let me tell you, my fingers, woohoo! It is so cold here outside Union Station. You see people covered from head to toe with many layers. But like Sue, still freezing.
Very cold. Like, absurdly cold.
You are hating this.
Yeah, very much so. It is not nice at all.
We'll feel in the minus 30s with this wind chill today and tomorrow. Cold enough that exposed skin can freeze within 10 minutes. Something Denison needs to worry about. It's minus 30 and you're wearing a ball cap.
Yeah.
So your ears are red. Do they feel cold?
They're probably numb by now. I mean, I can't feel things.
Maybe not the best day to wear that Jays cap or go running like Steph and her friends are doing.
We do every Wednesday, rain or shine, sun, snow, anything. We're weatherproof.
But minus 30?
Yeah, we're here.
And while it is Arctic cold here right now, it could actually be colder in Chicago and parts of the U.S. Midwest. It's in the minus 50s. Reporting live outside Union Station, Carl Hansky, 680 News.
Now, the cold is causing a number of issues at the intersection of Lawrence and Leslie. Tammy Sutherland of Breakfast Television is there with more.
We start off with a water main break that was reported at about 10 o'clock yesterday. So people in this area do not have water. You can see the big giant hole here in the middle of the intersection. They're funneling water out of it as they try to find the source of the actual break and leak. Another weather problem, gas stations in this area currently don't have gas. And I've spoken to a couple of them here over the phone. They said they haven't gotten their gas delivery. They blame the weather because of all of that snow. Their delivery from Keel and Finch has not made it down here yet.
It's not clear when the gas pumps will be back up and running.
This is 680 News. The future of all-day kindergarten in this province appears to be in some doubt. Our Kevin Meisner joins us live from Queen's Park with the story and reaction. Kevin.
Well, Paul, the Ford government is looking everywhere to cut $6 billion in spending, and all-day kindergarten will be part of the process. Education Minister Lisa Thompson confirms the program will still exist this fall, but after that all depends on talks with teachers' unions and school boards.
We're consulting with our education partners in terms of what's working and what's not.
Now, Thompson got defensive when asked if the province has already made up its mind on the future of full-day kindergarten.
We're asking first, we're listening, and then we're going to analyze the information that has come back to us. And so it would be absolutely irresponsible to have a position before we actually have finalized our consultation. I'm sure you can appreciate that.
The program was launched by the former McGuinty Liberal government at a cost of $1.5 billion. A study by McMaster and Queen's Universities does find that all-day kindergarten results in better student achievement and performance in grade 1. At Queen's Park, Kevin Meisner, 680 News.
680 News Time, 7:37. Happening now, just as one issue clears on the TTC, another one pops up on the Scarborough RT line. Buses are now supplementing service because of mechanical problems, and the TTC now reporting northbound delays on Line 1, the Young University line between Union and Eglinton stations have cleared.
This portion of 680 News brought to you by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Well, now that Bruce McCarthy has pleaded guilty to first-degree murder in the deaths of 8 men, criminology experts are weighing in on why it took so long to catch the serial killer who preyed on targets in the Church Wellesley village. 680's Jamie Pulver's here live with the story. Jamie.
Paul, at 67 years old, Bruce McArthur, now the oldest confirmed serial killer in Canadian history. He's back in the Toronto courtroom for sentencing next week. McArthur was able to hide in plain sight. His victims linked to Toronto's gay community, where this man tells City News they are still haunted.
We knew that there was a serial killer. We knew for years some people had suspicions of him, and they had reported him to the police on multiple occasions.
Police actually speaking to the mall Santa, landscaping business owner and grandfather years before his arrest. At the time, he just didn't fit the profile. Michael Arnfield is a criminologist with Western University and tells the Toronto Star McArthur may have used his age tactically to his advantage to avoid detection for so many years. And before McArthur, 62-year-old Albert Fish, also known as the Gray Man, was the oldest serial killer committing crimes in the 1920s and 30s in the U.S. Reporting live, Jamie Pulford, 680 News. Provincial police were busy on the 404 this past weekend. Sergeant Kerry Schmidt says 129 charges were laid, including 55 for speeding, 4 stunt driving charges, and 8 careless driving. He says other drivers were pulled over for distracted driving, failing to slow down or move over, following other vehicles too closely, and driving with a suspended license. He's reminding everyone to drive safe and slow down. Coming up at 7:41, traffic and weather together, including no big problems on the major routes right now, but volume is starting to build, especially on the westbound 401.
680 News Time, 7:39. Find a car today the much better way. Visit OntarioCars.ca.
Now, see here, I know you're an expert on buying a car and all, and I appreciate that, I really do. But don't you suppose that maybe, just maybe, everybody could use a little help, like Jerry here?
Well, she told me it was easy. I went to OntarioCars.ca, and don't you know, I fell in love with the beauty.
See, look up OntarioCars.ca to find sellers you can trust. Don't worry, you'll do just fine.
City streets, eastbound John from Adelaide to Pearl, the right lane is closed for construction, and north and southbound Dufferin from Hunter to Livingstone, that's south of Eglinton, it's down to a single lane because of construction.
680 News Time, 7:40.
With Homeocam's Kids 09 syrups, give your child a break from cough, cold, and mucus buildup. Homeocam's Kids 09 syrups, homeopathic medicines available in day and night formulas. Find Homeocam's Kids 09 syrups at pharmacies and health food stores. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
Enjoy Carnival of Games at Casino Woodbine every Thursday this month. Over $200,000 in prizes available to be won. Every draw winner has a chance at $5,000. Enjoy our prime rib and 2 lobster tail dinner every Thursday and Friday at Favorite. Only $14.99 from 4 to 10 p.m. And be sure to try our live tables. Only 19 plus to play. Free winners for Gold Rewards membership required. If you reward, that's for details. If you gamble, play smart. Casino Woodbine. Toronto's home for gaming and entertainment.
With Homeocam's Kids 09 syrups, give your child a break from cough, cold, and mucus buildup. Homeocam's Kids 09 syrups, homeopathic medicines available in day and night formulas. Find Homeocam's Kids 09 syrups at pharmacies and health food stores. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
680 News Time, 7:41.
Time for 680 News traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by Sun Life Financial. Here's Stephanie Henry. Definitely a busy one on our major routes right now. Westbound 401 slow from Dixon to west of the 412, approaching Westing to about Brock Road. And then very heavy on the westbound 401 from approaching Morningside to west of Young, alternately Express and Collectors. But it does look a lot slower in the Express right now. Westbound 401, that's slow from west of the 410 and the Collectors to west of Mavis. And over on the southbound 410, that's heavy from Mayfield to south of Queen. You'll also find delays eastbound 401, Highway 25 to Trafalgar, approaching Mississauga Road to approaching here Ontario. Busy on the eastbound 401, approaching the 427 in the Collectors, and a slow go eastbound 401, 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors, slower in the Collectors right now. Southbound 400 busy King to King Vaughan, Teston to south of Rutherford, and the southbound 400 is also busy from Shepherd to the eastbound 401 ramp. You'll find delays on the southbound 404 DVP combo from Davis to south of Mulock, south of Elgin Mills to 16th, and it's slow on the southbound 404 DVP from south of Finch to south of Lawrence. Eastbound QEW, that's still there now from east of Bluffs line to east of Third line on and off, and then you'll find it heavy Mississauga Road to Dixie. Eastbound Gardner is slow from Islington and the Express to about east of Jameson, and we have volume delays now on the westbound Gardner as well. It's slow approaching Spadina to about Parkside, Kipling Express and Collectors to the 427 ramp. True wealth is about making the most of everything that life has to offer. This is health, and this is wealth, and this is life. Learn more at sunlife.ca. Your next report at 7:51, and now to check on the forecast, here's Joe Taylor. Well, we are not the only ones dealing with the very cold wind chills this morning. Several provinces are in the deep freeze. The coldest spot in Canada right now is Collins Bay, Saskatchewan, where the wind chill right now is minus 55. So, yeah, our wind chill minus 30, not that bad, right? Yeah, it's cold. So very, very cold, dangerously cold for us this stretch, and it will stay with us. Wind chill in the minus 30s until early Friday morning. Now, we do have a slight chance of some flurries for Toronto and the GTA today. Most of the activity, though, the squalls in the snow belt. Guaranteed high, minus 15, already reached for the rest of the day. About minus 17, drop to minus 20, again feeling like the minus 30s, and just minus 15 again for the high tomorrow, more scattered flurries. Friday, Friday, the 1st of February, sun and clouds, and the high about -11. Getting a bit better. Right now, feels like -30. It's clear. -19 at Pearson, -16 at 680 News. The guaranteed high already reached -15.
680 News Time, 7:43.
Now the IG Private Wealth Management Market Minute.
Over to Mike Apple, the 680 Business Center. Well, now we can call it the Boeing bounce. The shares of the aircraft maker up 6% pre-market on a very strong earnings performance. Earnings just out from Boeing. Apple is already up by 5.5%. Its earnings momentum started to build late yesterday with its update, and share price is seeing big gains this morning. The Dow futures, with those two heavyweights on the rise, up by 145 points. The TSX will be trying for a 5-day winning streak today, coming off a gain of 84 points. CN Rail in the spotlight. That company announced a big dividend hike after the bell last night. Price for oil up 51 cents, 53.82. Gold at an 8-month high, 13.19 an ounce, up $4, and the Canadian dollar 75.61, up by a quarter cent. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Apple.
At IG Private Wealth Management, they understand your more complex needs. Enhance your financial well-being with a truly synchronized plan. Welcome change at igprivatewealth.com.
It's time to get track-inspired performance with road-ready offers from Acura. Right now, receive up to a $4,000 cash rebate on select 2019 Acura MDX models. Equipped to take on winter roads with standard super handling all-wheel drive and Acura Watch driver safety and assistive technologies. Lease now from 1.9% for 36 months. Or get up to a $4,000 cash rebate on other select MDX models. Visit your local Acura dealer or AcuraGTA.ca for details. Acura. Precision, crafted performance.
Listen up. Lazy Boy is completely overstocked and they need to move furniture fast. It's music to my ears. I hear there's crazy amounts of everything in the store. They're so desperate to move inventory and make room for all their new items that everything's priced to go. Hurry, once it's gone, it's gone.
During their inventory overstock sale, Preston saves up to 25% off your purchase at 9 GTA stores. Plus, Dictionary and Berry. This is all News Radio. 680 News.
Clear sky -16, wind chill -28. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Shirley Close.
I'm Paul Cook, and you're the top stories right now.
Cold enough for you? Yeah. We're in for wind chill values of -30 to -35 from now through Friday morning. Full-day kindergarten will remain in place for the next school year, but the province's education minister won't commit beyond that. And another rough day on the Scarborough RC. Buses now supplementing service because of mechanical issues.
Time now for 680 Sports.
From Sportsnet 590 The Fan, here's Peter Rose. And we'll check on Peter in a second.
Saturday is hockey night. Act 1, Pittsburgh lights the fun. Act 2, Toronto countered with a little blow. Now it's the series draws to an end. Who will close out the final act? On City TV, the Senators Stars have dominated Detroit. Canada Rocket and the Red Wings find a way to outlast Ottawa. Hockey night in Canada. Saturday, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on Sportsnet, CBC, and City TV.
And from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, we have found Peter Bruce.
This team makes it stop until Friday when they skate in Detroit against the Red Wings. This will be newly acquired defenseman Jake Muslin's 497th NHL game. His first was Toronto. Last night, the Jets jumped the Boston Bruins 4-3 in a shootout. Sabres stifled the Blue Jackets 5-4. Flyers swept the Rangers 1-0. Raptors with home court tomorrow for the Milwaukee Bucks. Last night, the Bucks bounced the Detroit Pistons 115-105. So the Bucks now have the best record in the NBA. They're a half game better than the Raptors. James Harden continues his historic run. He scored 37 points. And that was his 24th straight game with 30 or more, but the Rockets lost 121-116 to the New Orleans Pelicans. Sportsnet 15 and 45 past every hour or any time at sportsnet.ca/590.
680 News Time, 7:48.
Ciao, Dominic Zinucci here. The big game is the perfect time to get together with family, friends, and our mouth-watering oven-baked pizzas, wedges, and wings. So from our family to yours, cheer on your favorite team and stay to the friends.
This health report is type 2 diabetes. Scottish researchers watched 10 overweight men and found those who took part in high-intensity interval training for only 15 minutes, 3 times a week, saw their insulin sensitivity improve just as much as those doing the same workout for 45 minutes. Insulin sensitivity is a key marker of type 2 diabetes. It's trending on social media. It is Bell Let's Talk Day. The annual campaign looks to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental illness by encouraging people to talk openly about their experiences. For every text, call, tweet, video, view, or Snapchat filter, Bell will donate 5 cents toward mental health initiatives, and the Mayor John Tory will raise the Let's Talk flag in a noon hour ceremony at City Hall. A study suggests extra insulin may be toxic to cells of the placenta in pregnancy. The study demonstrates how a drug commonly used in the treatment of type 2 diabetes may prevent against miscarriage in women with PCOS, a condition associated with abnormal insulin and fertility issues. Abnormal levels of insulin are thought to be associated with risk of miscarriage. The authors wanted to test if there is a pregnancy protection benefit of the drug. The authors found that higher levels of insulin exposure damaged and killed placenta cells. The damage and death of the cells was prevented with treatment of metformin before insulin exposure. The study can be found in fertility and sterility. Coming up, traffic and weather together.
City News Time, 7:50.
Behind every assassination, there is an untold truth. If the situation in the country does not improve, my life is worthless. Witness the biggest cover-up in Indian history. Nugent Media Productions and Rising Star Entertainment presents for the Gandhi assassination doesn't mean anything. Stephen Lang, Luke Pasqualano, Vinnie Jones, and Paul Murray. I personally am Gandhi's life more.
The Gandhi murder in cinemas now.
We're from 1-800-GOD-JUNK.
I changed my mind. This junk is too weird to let anyone see.
I once picked up several thousand cans of tuna.
Are you making that up?
I promise he's not, ma'am. A couch full of bees, a loaded handgun, half a boat, animatronic monkey, concrete coffin. Ma'am, if you'd like us to make your junk disappear, all you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOD-JUNK. Take a look at the weird junk list at 1-800-GOD-JUNK.com.
City News Time, 7:51.
Time for 680 News traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by George Richards. Here's Devin Henry. Taking a look over on the westbound 401, looking at delays from 6 into west of the 412. Also very heavy from approaching Morningside to west of Young, alternately express and collectors, but slower in the express for sure. Westbound 401 ramp to Leslie. We may have a lane blocked by a stalled vehicle, and there also may be some debris on the ramp as well. If you there and can update us, star 680, it would be greatly appreciated. The westbound 401, that's heavy from west of the 410 in the collectors to west of Mavis. Also quite slow on the southbound 410 from Mayfield to south of Queen. It's heavy eastbound 401 Highway 25 to Trafalgar, approaching Mississauga Road to approaching here, Ontario. And delays on the eastbound 401 from Dixie to the 427 in the collectors. Slow eastbound 401, 427 to the 400 Express in collectors, and slower in the collectors through that stretch. Busy eastbound 401 Young Express, Davie collectors over to Leslie. The southbound 400 is also looking at some volume from King to King Vaughan, Teston to south of Rutherford, and from Shepherd to the eastbound 401 ramp. Southbound 404 DVP combo slow from Davis to south of Mulock, south of Elgin Mills to 16. And you'll find delays on the southbound 404 DVP from south of Finch to south of Lawrence. Heading over to the Toronto-bound QEW, that's heavy approaching the Burlington Skyway. Eastbound QEW also slow from east of Guelph Line to east of 3rd Line off and on. And then you'll find delays from Mississauga Road to Dixie. The eastbound Gardner heavy Islington Express to about east of Jameson. And delays on the southbound 427 from Highway 7 to Derry, south of Airport Road to south of the 401. White George Richards, the best big and tall menswear store. The best fits, styles, prices, and selections. George Richards in Ajax, Heartland, plus 7 other GTA locations, or shop online. Your next report at 8:01, and now to check on the extended forecast. Here's Jill Taylor. A very cold wind chill for us today, tomorrow, and early Friday morning in the -30s. Exposed skin can freeze in about 10 to 30 minutes. You need lots and lots of extra layers. And if you're outside for a prolonged period of time, frostbite, definitely a risk. Our guaranteed high today, -15, already reached. For the rest of the day, we'll sit at about -17, feeling like the -30s. Drop to -20 for the low, it'll feel like -32 overnight. And there is a chance of some flurries today, but most of the activity outside the GTA for areas in the snowbelts between Lake Huron and Georgian Bay, and also in the Niagara region. Minus 15 tomorrow, minus 11 Friday. Some improvement for the weekend by Sunday. Could have plus 2 with flurries or showers. Right now it feels like minus 30, clear, minus 19 if you're so minus 16 at 680 News. We've already reached the guaranteed high, minus 15. Coming up at 8 o'clock, we will help you survive this latest cold snap. And parents wondering about the future of all-day kindergarten.
680 News Time, 7:54.
Welcome to Valet by Park and Fly, the easiest and quickest way to park by the airport. Just pull up, check in, and go. A real thing of beauty for travelers. With Valet by Park and Fly, we get your car so you don't have to. A nice surprise at the end of a trip. It's like telling your team no parties while you're gone and coming home to a house that's cleaner than you left it. It's almost too surprising. Valet by Park and Fly, the easiest and quickest way to park happy. Plus, get an optional detailing while you're away. Visit parkandfly.ca for details.
Now you can listen to 680 News on your Sonos smart speaker, Amazon Echo, or any Google Chromecast-enabled device, like Google Home, with the free Radio Player Canada app.
In the car, tune in using Radio Player on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Radio Player Canada is where Canadian radio plays.
680 News, Commuter Week.
Cars, bikes, and pedestrians are all supposed to be sharing the roads, but it's a tense relationship at the best of times. 680's Irene Pricklet asked you your pet peeves about this, and you didn't hold back. One person tweets there was a big problem with cyclists in the city. They do whatever they want to drivers because they know they can get away with it. A runner tweets, I've had far more incidents with bikes than with cars, including a hit and run. While a cyclist tweets, I am almost hit by a driver every day. Bikes not stopping at stop signs, a big pet peeve. Sarah Bradley with Cycle Toronto says they don't condone cyclists blazing through stop signs.
So there are times when it doesn't really make sense to come to a complete stop and put your foot down. Because, when you're biking in reliable mountains.
We got comments like this after a story about cyclists complaining about snow clearing on bike paths.
You should be banning cyclists from October until March. It's time for the government to license cyclists.
Last year, Toronto police issued 265 tickets for cyclist-related offenses. I'm Irene Pricklet. 680 News Time, 7:56.
Stay safe as God's Doors presents a winter sale ending February 28th with up to 50% off insulated garage door windows. Offer available on Canadian-made Garage garage doors exclusively from God's Doors. Buy now, call now, save now. Visit God'sDoors.com. DOGDS. God. Remember, no one does it better than God does. No one.
We're not master chefs, personal trainers, number crunching accountants, vegan bakers, or vintage clothing curators. That would be you. We're Monera, Canada's largest payment processor. Your business is your passion. Ours is helping you grow it. With scalable solutions and 24/7 support, Canadian businesses trust Monera. For a limited time, sign up and get up to $300 back. Some conditions apply. Call 1-866-MONERA or visit Monera.com. Now, the News Business Report. Here's Mike Ethel.
Hey, Charlene, good morning. We're looking at a 6% gain for Boeing this morning. This is the world's largest maker of aircraft, and it is seeing all sorts of lift on the market this morning as it cracked $100 billion in sales in 2018, a record-breaking year for Boeing. All this talk about a slowing global economy not showing up in Boeing's earnings update. The sales and profitability in the latest quarter all above estimates. They're optimistic and not seeing too much impact from trade issues related to China. Shares up 6%. You combine that with Apple, now up 5.5% in its earnings update. And you've got the Dow Futures Index up 250 points. Strong start expected for Wall Street today, and probably Bay Street too. The TSX coming off a 4-day winning streak should see a positive start. The price for oil continuing to react to the U.S. tightening sanctions on Venezuela. Crude futures up by 51 cents this morning at 53.81. Gold is at an 8-month high, $13.19 an ounce now. That's up $4 as we get a decision on interest rates out of the U.S. Central Bank this afternoon. That'll move the U.S. dollar and bonds, the Canadian dollar starting at 75.61. That's up by a quarter cent. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Ethel.
You don't buy office chair from the back of a truck, from the dollar market. cars. Reuse yesterday's coffee. Buy an office that's falling apart. Don't hire an intern as your CEO. Raccoons to clear your trash. Treat clients to a fast food lunch. Use I love to save some cash. Get what you pay for. Be careful what you choose. Use your original leasing donor. And you just can't lose. 100% reliable, environmentally responsible. Always trust original AC donor.
The next Lotus 649 jackpot is an estimated $30 million. If that isn't enough, there's also the guaranteed $1 million prize with every draw. Sure, playing is fun, and imagining what you do with the prizes is great, but there's no better feeling than winning it big. So get your Lotto 649 ticket today for your chance at a $30 million jackpot. Plus the guaranteed $1 million prize. It's one draw you don't want to miss. Get that 649 feeling. Clear minus 16 in Uxbridge, Pickering clear, minus 18. Downtown Toronto, clear sky. Minus 16 feels like minus 26. 680 news time, 8 o'clock.
For breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Paul Coach and Catherine Zate.
Good morning. This is Wednesday, the 30th of January.
For Catherine Zate, I'm Charlene Close. Here's what's making news right now.
From shovels to shivers. My face is very cold, actually. I can't even feel it right now.
We're now in a deep freeze that will last till Friday. Could all-day kindergarten in Ontario be scrapped by the Ford government?
We are listening.
The education minister says the program's future does depend on consultations with education partners.
Bruce MacArthur is officially the oldest confirmed serial killer in Canadian history. And now experts say the 67-year-old used his age to avoid detection for so long.
A shootout loss to the Jets gives the Blues 1 point to trail the Maple Leafs by 2. The Bucks faced the Pistons to come to Toronto with a half-game lead on the Raptors. Sports at 15.
250-point gain for Dow Futures Dow, helped out by earnings at Boeing and Apple, just getting in same-store sales results for McDonald's and quarterly results. Business at 26.
680 news time, 8:01.
Traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by your Toronto area Ford dealers. Here's Stephanie Henry.
It is a busy drive on our major routes, that is for sure, but we're also looking at this problem on the eastbound 401 east of Yonge and the Express. We have a left shoulder blocked at the collision. You'll find that it's slow on the eastbound 401 from Allen in the Express, but we're looking at delays before we even get to this point. Eastbound 401 slow from east of Highway 25 to the 407 approaching Mississauga Road to approaching here Ontario. And we're also looking at delays over on the eastbound 401 from east of the 410 to about the 427 and the collectors. Taking a look further along on our major routes, you'll find along the eastbound 401, we have delays approaching Bayview to Leslie in the collectors. The southbound 410 still quite slow from Mayfield to south of Queen, and it looks like we now have a new problem on the eastbound QEW east of Mississauga Road. A left lane blocked with a collision. Tow trucks on the scene, and it's jammed up from about southbound. It's also busy on the eastbound QEW from east of Guelph line to east of 3rd. You'll find delays over on the westbound 401 from west of Dixon to west of the 412, Meadowvale to west of Yonge, alternately express and collectors, and issues on the westbound 401 ramp to Leslie. We're hearing of a stalled vehicle and maybe even some debris on the ramp. So if you're there and can update us, star 680, it would be greatly appreciated. Westbound 401 also slow 400 express west of Weston in the collectors to Dixon, and you'll find delays on the westbound 401 west of the 410 in the collectors to west of Mavis. Until January 31st, get $4,000 in rebates plus a $1,000 bonus on all new 2018 Escape models at the Ford year-end clear-out. Details at findyourford.ca. Your next report is at 8:11, and now at the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Well, nice to have the sunshine, but we've got the bitter cold, and it will stay with us right through to early Friday morning. Wind chill in the minus 30s. Do have a chance of flurries, but most of the activity today will be with the squalls outside the GTA. The guaranteed high, minus 15, already reached. For the rest of the day, about minus 17 again, feeling like the minus 30s. Scattered flurries tomorrow. Right now, it feels like minus 31. It's mainly sunny, minus 20 degrees at Pearson Airport, minus 16 at 680 News. We've already reached the guaranteed high, minus 15. 680 News Time, 8:03.
From the coziness of being under that duvet to an icy slap in the face the second you walk out the door, we are under an extreme cold warning with wind chills in the minus 30s right through Friday.
680's Carl Hansky is out in the big chill, feeling your pain on what will likely be one of the coldest days of the winter so far. So sorry, Carl.
That's right, Charlene. We've gone from deep snow to a deep freeze here outside Union Station, and many a commuter like Marcus are not fans.
My face is very cold, actually. I can't even feel it right now. It's very cold.
It's also dangerously cold. With wind chills, it will feel in the minus 30s until Friday, cold enough that exposed skin can freeze in 10 minutes. But that's not stopping Caitlin from spending as much time as she can outside.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Do you know how many people hate you for saying that right now?
Yeah, I know, but I love winter.
Well, there's winter, then there's cold, and this is cold.
Yeah, I know. The colder the better. The more snow, the better.
Except if you're one of the drivers whose vehicle was left parked on the street during the snowstorm and is still buried by the snowplows. That snow mound has frozen in this extreme cold, encasing the car in an icy cocoon. Good luck getting it out now. Reporting live outside Union Station, Carl Hansky,
680 News Time, 8:04. In the U.S., getting around the Midwest is extremely difficult as cold temperatures there blast the region. ABC's Ryan Burrows in Chicago.
Commuter trains in Chicago are being slowed so crews can set switches on fire and keep them from freezing over. Metra is modifying its schedule, only running about 65% of trains. They're hoping most people stay home. There are concerns that the salt and chemicals applied to the roads to melt the snow and ice won't be strong enough to handle temperatures at 20 degrees below zero. Experts say airplanes should have no problem getting off the ground, but airport employees can only be exposed to the conditions for 10 to 15 minutes at a time before frostbite and hypothermia could set in. Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Chicago.
Parents counting on enrolling the little ones in full-day kindergarten beyond the next school year are in limbo. The Ford government isn't committing to the program beyond this fall. Our Kevin Meisner joins us live from Queen's Park with the story and reaction. Kevin?
Well, Charlene, the education minister does confirm that full-day kindergarten will be part of the Ford government's consultations with teacher unions and school boards. The province is opening talks with those groups to find ways to cut overall government spending by $6 billion. Lisa Thompson confirms all-day kindergarten stays, at least for now.
This fall, yes. And we're consulting with our education partners in terms of what's working and what's not. And we'll get back in touch with you after our consultation has been concluded.
The minister also bristles at suggestions the Ford government has already made up its mind.
I am absolutely respecting the process of consultation. We are listening.
In 2012, economist Don Drummond issued a report to the then McGuinty Liberal government recommending that it scrap or rework the $1.5 billion program. But research does show that full-day kindergarten does improve social and cognitive abilities of young students. At Queen's Park, Kevin Meisner, 680 News.
This portion of 680 News brought to you by Inline Fiberglass Windows. Happening now on the Scarborough RT line after being shut down all day yesterday because of the weather. Riders on line 3 now dealing with delays of up to 15 minutes because of a mechanical issue. It's unclear when regular service will resume.
This is 680 News. How does a 67-year-old serial killer get away with it for more than a decade? Bruce MacArthur's age may be why he was able to avoid getting caught for so long. Our Jamie Pulper is taking a look at some expert theories, and she joins us live. Jamie?
Yeah, that's right, Charlene. Bruce MacArthur pleading guilty to 8 counts of first-degree murder. There will be a sentencing hearing next week. At 67, the oldest confirmed serial killer in Canadian history. Many in Toronto's gay village sounding the alarm to police about a serial killer for years. Now haunted by the fact MacArthur was able to carry out his crimes for so long. Toronto Police Detective Sergeant Hank Azinga speaks to the CBC.
We're human beings. Of course, are we thinking, is that a possibility? Yes, it's a possibility. But it would be reckless of me to come out and say, perhaps there's a serial killer, unless I have evidence that there is a serial killer.
Hiding in plain sight, Mal Santa, owner of a landscaping business and a grandfather not exactly fitting the serial killer profile. Western University criminologist Michael Arntfield tells the Toronto Star age may have been a tactical advantage for MacArthur to avoid this
protection. A 60-something serial killer, unprecedented in this country and extremely rare on an international level. Reporting live, Jamie Pulser, 680 News.
City News Time, 8:08. City Council returns today for its first meeting of the year. 680's Alex Bloomfield looks at what's on the agenda.
Mayor John Tory's Housing Now initiative will be one of the first things up for approval. Last week, the mayor's executive committee pushed forward the plan to convert 11 city properties into mixed-use housing developments. 1/3 of the units earmarked for affordable housing. But councilors Mike Layton and Kristen Wongtan believe it does not go far enough. They're calling for amendments to create a higher percentage of so-called deeply affordable units and only to allow non-profit housing operators. Council may also discuss Wongtan's recommendation the city declare a state of emergency for homelessness issues. Councilor Joe Cressy pushing council to approve sending a request to Airbnb and other rental share companies to voluntarily abide by city rules, which can't be enforced right now due to an appeal. They would prevent owners from putting secondary properties on the short-term rental market, freeing up more long-term units. I'm Alex Bloomfield.
Coming up at 8:11, traffic and weather together on the ones, including eastbound QEW, east of Mississauga Road, the left lane blocked. With a collision, it's jammed from southbound.
680 News Time, 8:09.
Hi, I'm Tom Rokicki of Inline Fiberglass Windows. You're probably already aware of the benefits in selecting our fiberglass windows: beauty, performance, and durability. But did you know that our fiberglass windows were carefully selected by building professionals for the Greenpeace National Headquarters, Canada's Greenest Home, and CMHC's Healthy House? It's no coincidence that vinyl, wood, or aluminum windows were not selected for these projects. Visit us at our Factory Direct showroom or at Inline Fiberglass